In this video, we're going to be unboxing the all-new M4 Mac Mini and go over the reason why I'm switching over from my Hackintosh over to the new M4 Mac Mini. I've been using my Hackintosh for the past 7 years now, and it's been my main Mac workstation for the past 7 years. It's definitely been a process creating the Hackintosh because I was trying to get all these high-end parts, so it took about 7 to 12 months to build. And once it was completed, I really did love the computer because it worked really well, and it continues to work really well today. The biggest motivator behind creating the workstation was because I can get all these parts, and the Macs at the time cost too much, and they were already using Intel chips at the time, so I can just get my own Intel chip and get all these parts and create a supercomputer almost. And it worked really well until Apple introduced their own M series chip in 2020, and I really wanted to upgrade to one of those M series chips, but it just was way too expensive at the time. It came with the MacBook Pro, and I don't really like to use a MacBook Pro as my main workstation. Even though I can have it connected to my monitors, I'd rather just have a dedicated workstation, and that's why I've been using my Hackintosh ever since then. But my biggest problem with the Hackintosh was updating the software. As of right now, even to this day, I'm still on macOS Big Sur because updating the software has been a pain. I used to be on previous softwares, but when I was upgrading, it would just crash out the system and I'd have to delete everything, restart and reformat the hard drives and start from scratch all over again. So at one point I just updated to Big Sur and I just kept it that way ever since. And I've been lacking on a lot of macOS updates, but now with the Mac Mini, it just made sense to make that upgrade today. The Mac Mini I decided to go with is the base model M4 Mac Mini with 256GB of SSD. Originally, I was planning on upgrading the storage because 256GB is just not enough. I'm working with about 20TB here on my Mac right now, but this one is only going to come with 256GB, and for Apple to upgrade it to 512 gigs, it's going to cost me $200, but for that price, I can easily get an external SSD drive for about 2 to 4TB, so that's the option I'm going to be going with. So I didn't really upgrade the storage internally. I'm going to keep that standard and just add an external Thunderbolt drive. Now, peeling off these two tabs, it's going to unveil the Mac Mini, and I've got to say it's surprisingly light. I expect it to be a little bit heavier, but it's actually very lightweight, and the size of it is very compact. I'm gonna have this on my desktop. My Hackintosh kind of lives behind my desk underneath actually, but this is going to be directly available on the top of my computer desk, and I can just look at it, and it doesn't take that much space, which is actually very nice. I can easily hide this under a little cabinet as well, but I'm going to be keeping this on my desk, and it just looks really nice. It's very compact, doesn't take too much space, and it's extremely lightweight. Now, inside the box, all you're going to be getting is the Mac Mini and a power cord, and that's about it. No HDMI cord, no other accessories or anything like that. It's simply just the Mac Mini and a power cord. I already have my monitors, I have my keyboard, and I have my mouse, so I don't really need anything else. The Mac Mini also surprisingly comes with a built-in speaker, which I'm not going to be using, but it is good to know that they have a built-in speaker, which can be really useful if you don't currently have a speaker setup. Taking a look at the ports on the Mac Mini, you're simply going to get the power connection, Ethernet port, HDMI 2.1, and 3 Thunderbolt 4. If you do go with the M4 Pro, you're going to get Thunderbolt 5 ports, but I don't really need to go for that route, so I just stick with the base model. And on the front, you're going to get 2 USB-C ports, as well as a headphone jack and an LED indicator indicating when the Mac is turned on. One of the most controversial things about the Mac Mini has been the placement of the power button, but on my Hackintosh, I've never really ever had to shut it down unless I had some type of bug issues, and even then my Hackintosh is below the table, so I'm gonna have to go down there to turn it on and turn it off, which is kind of painful. But with the Mac Mini, I'm most likely just gonna have this turned on 24/7. I usually just put in lock screen mode or put on standby mode, and once I click on the keyboard or mouse, it just starts waking back up. I never really shut down my computer on a daily basis, but if you do, then it's going to be a little bit painful because you're going to have to lift up the Mac Mini every time you want to click on that button. But if you just leave it on standby mode, you're not going to have any problems. And there you have it. That's my unboxing on the M4 Mac Mini. If you're in the market to get a new Mac and you don't want to spend a lot over $1,000 on a new Mac computer, you can possibly get the Mac Mini for under $500, and for that price point, I can't really argue. It actually works insanely well, and I've been lacking on a lot of software updates, so finally trying to use Apple Intelligence and macOS Sonoma. I've been missing a lot of features over the past 7 years, but now I can finally take advantage of all those features and be connected well into the ecosystem compared to having a Hackintosh, which was not that seamless between your devices. this is definitely going to be a step up for me. If you guys have any type of questions, let me know in the comment section below. But that's about it for this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.